Hi, Gemma King here. Today I'm going to tell the story of Heron the Phoenix. In 2022, I found an unusual friendship in a heron. I noticed he was near us on our walks most days. I suspected a male as it seemed larger. As we walked up the steps to the canal, we would find Heron just ahead on the opposite side as the verge lifts. Upon seeing Heron, I would cheerfully chant, "Hello, Heron, how are you?" Heron would respond by lifting his body skywards and unfolding his wings as he pulsed himself up, letting out a long, loud quack, and I would smile at him. On our walks, we often had waddling of ducks in tow. A few people commented about the following ducks, saying, "Am I walking the ducks also?" I had 2 German shepherds at the time, and I would nervously smile, boldly replying, "But of course, a duck and a dog walk along the canal." Each time we walked along this way, we would reach a certain point where I would prompt, "U-turn, U-turn," and the dogs, ducks, and I would make a U-turn as we changed direction. On our return walk, Heron would fly back overhead and meet us at the end. If, whilst walking, Heron turned back before us, we would turn around also and head back. Upon reaching the end of our walk, I would say to Heron, "Bye, Heron," and he would lift away. I really enjoyed my interactions with Heron, told on others of my stories. Once I had the pleasure of Heron waiting for us on the side we walk, and I clearly said, "Hello, Heron. Nice to see you. How are you?" Knowing Heron's antics, Lilly moved playfully forward, leading him to lift off and release a loud quack. As I walked past where Heron had sat, I saw a beautiful long grey feather. "Thank you, Heron," as I picked it up and put it in my hair, sticking up upwards. One winter, as we were walking along the canal, I noticed a heron's body floating by one of the park boats. A sadness came over me thinking of poor Heron, and I felt like I'd lost a dear friend. On that day, I didn't see Heron waiting on the canal bank, and my head dropped. The next day, whilst walking, I searched to see if it were real, the heron in the water, hoping that it wasn't. But I couldn't find it. Perhaps it had moved downstream with the current. I thought with a tinge of sadness. I continued my walk with the ducks and the dog. Soon I no longer thought of Heron in our meetings. As the weeks passed by, walking along the canal, I saw far, far in front of me on our side of the canal what looked like a heron. My initial thought was that my eyes were deceiving me. So I blinked a few times and continued walking. As I got closer, my heart lifted and I saw clearly that it really was Heron. I exclaimed with joy, "Heron, it's lovely to see you." To which Heron gracefully lifted off with a loud, wondrous quack. I was delighted. Walking back along the canal, I was feeling happiness at seeing Heron, but still sadness for the heron lying in the water. Full of mixed emotions, a thought suddenly struck me. The phoenix has risen? What? Does a heron look like a phoenix? That evening, I looked at pictures of a phoenix and saw the similarities. I jumped with joy. The message brought me sadness and death, but also life and happiness. The rise of the phoenix symbolizes overcoming challenges, but also health, healing, and renewal. It was my time for transformation and growth. Yes, it most definitely was. Thank you.